Welcome to the Newsome MMA Podcast, partnered with Concussion Pro 1, the world's first dedicated concussion supplement. I'm your host as always, Newsome, and tonight I am joined by the huge rising star in the UFC's Light Heavyweight division, Aleksandar Rakic, ahead of his fight at UFC 231 against Devin Clark. Alex, thank you for joining me today. How are you doing, bro?
Hey, how are you, Adam? And thank you for the interview. I'm fine. Just finished the first training of the day, and yeah.
Awesome, and the pleasure's all mine, my friend. So before we start, I'm not sure how many people will know about this or even remember it, but you broke a UFC record in your last fight in Hamburg against Justin Ledet. You're now the owner of the greatest strike differential in a single light heavyweight fight, outlanding Ledet 263 to 28, which is just crazy numbers. How did it make you feel breaking this record?
Wow, it feels crazy. I never thought I'm gonna break a record in the second fight in my UFC career. So it was like, oh my God, I did just a dream came true, because it's a big honor for me to fight in the UFC, and then the second fight I broke the record. Man, I was just keeping fighting and fighting and fighting in the last fight, like punching, working, and yeah, it pays off,
Absolutely.
So I'm very happy about
it. Awesome. So let's talk UFC 231 in Toronto, Canada. You're fighting on a card which has two title fights in the main and co-main events, and headlining the card is Max Holloway and Brian Ortega. How does it feel to be on such a huge fight card, and what were your thoughts when you got that phone call?
Man, it's amazing. My first two fights was a UFC Fight Night in Rotterdam and Hamburg. There we knew all of them. There are a little bit smaller shows. And then when I got the call for UFC 231, it was like, oh yeah, let's do this. I'm ready for this, for the big show. And I cannot wait to go out there and put a great show for the fans and for the UFC and for everybody. Can't wait.
Sure. And without diving into this too much for obvious reasons, me and you both know that there's a handful of fighters in the light heavyweight division that have been offered to fight you but turned it down. So absolute credit to your opponent Devin Clark here. How did the fight come about though? Did you ask for Clark or did Clark ask for you?
No, I don't know. After my fight in Hamburg, I call out top 15 because I think I'm more than ready for the guys. So yeah, but I didn't get a chance this time, so I got the fight offer for Devin Clark, and I said immediately, yes, let me fight him. So one step closer to the top 15, and I hope after this win I get the shot for the top 15. So
sure. And how much do you know about Devin Clark, Alex?
I know he is a very strong wrestler. He is about 6 feet tall, so not. It's a very huge height difference between me and him. So, but he is a light heavyweight. I'm a light heavyweight. We are big guys. It's a lot of power in the hands. So I knew he is a good wrestler. So he's gonna come to push forward, but I will be ready for him for sure.
Absolutely. And me and you have spent a little bit of time together during this year when you flew over to the UK back in February, and then also during your time in Hamburg for your last fight as well. You spoke in depth about your game and the secrets that you've been waiting to surprise your opponents with. You're a very well-rounded fighter, but so is Devin Clark. Now, where do you feel that your main advantages are in this fight?
I think I have the better movement, and I am the better striker than him. So my head movement and my feet movement is general better. Maybe he's not a better wrestler than me because I train with very, very good people here in ATT, in American Top Team, where my fight camp is. But also in Vienna, I have a very good guys around me from Chechnya, Dagestan. So we knew the whole world knows about wrestling from Dagestan and Russia. So there is one of the best. And my wrestling coach is from Chechnya. So I'm going to be ready for this wrestling, So I don't know if he's going to be better in every aspect of the fight, but the fight is a fight, and I have to be careful of his strength and of his power. And Yeah, I think I'm more well-rounded than him, so I'm gonna show this December 8th.
Absolutely. And moving on to your training schedule and camp for this fight, I know you're back at ATT in Florida right now. Are you going to be splitting the time between Gym 23 and American Top Team?
Yeah, I start my camp in Gym 23 with my guys there and switch off to ATT 6 weeks before the fight. So I get some new sparring partner and preparing for Devin Clark's fighting style. So he's a short wrestler. So we have a ton of wrestlers here. They push me all day. So yeah, I'm gonna be ready for him.
Sure. And you mentioned your training partners. Who are your main training partners for this camp, Alex? And are these guys the normal training partners for you, or do you switch it up for each fight camp?
Yeah, we have now some couple good short wrestlers here at ATT. I spar with King Mo a lot. He's a great wrestler. I spar with other good Dagestan guys here. I spar I grapple and wrestle with the wrestling coach here, Steve Mocco. We all know who is Steve Mocco, Olympian wrestler, college state champion. So I work a lot with him. So I have different sparring partners, but they're the same size of Devin Clark, and we simulate the fighting style of Devin Clark. So I'm get used to.
Sure, it sounds like you put everything in place perfectly here. So who's going to be in the corner for your fight?
In my corner is gonna be my team from Austria, my MMA and BJJ coach Roberto Pastuch, and my boxing coach from Russia Yuri, and the same team like in Hamburg, and my strength and conditioning and nutrition coach Richard Starner. So I'm not gonna change it because, like you said, if nothing is broken, you have not to fix it. So
absolutely,
it works a lot, and I'm all day with them in contact. I sending them videos of my training. I let them know the sparrings, how is the training. So we are all the time in contact, and we're working a lot together. So even if there is not the coaches, they know all about me and all about the training.
Absolutely. And it is really the dream team, those guys. You know, like I say, I was there in Hamburg in your last fight, and you know the togetherness that you've got is awesome, and especially Richard as well. The guy's an absolute genius in what he does. So for sure the right move. And as I mentioned earlier, Alex, you spoke to me a lot about secrets and surprises. You seem to like throwing your opponents off with the unexpected. So, for example, with Ledet, you told me you were going to come out of southpaw to confuse him, to work on the low kicks and take out his lead leg, which you did, and he was surprised. So, without revealing anything, do you have any nice surprises for us in this fight?
For sure, but I'm not gonna tell you. You're gonna see it on December 8th. I have all in my all fights. I have a plan, and I have everybody has weaknesses, and everybody you have to take these weaknesses of your opponent in your you have to work on it. So maybe one punch and I or one kick and I got him, and yeah, for sure. I work with my team on the weaknesses of Devin Clark, and we are training for this, and maybe it's gonna be a 50K. Let's see. I'm gonna be prepared, sure. The last time.
Sure. And the final topic I want to talk to you about, Alex, is your future. You're now a legit prospect in this division. Not to look past Devin Clark, but if you were to win at UFC 231, how many more wins do you believe you'll need before you get that title shot?
I hope not many, but I hope the next one would be in top 15, and the next one maybe let's be realistically maybe 3 wins. Maybe 3 wins. 1 in top 15, 1 in top 10, and 1 in top 5. And then it's gonna be realistically to get a title shot. So, but I'm very, very young, and I don't want to rush. If the UFC thinks I'm not ready yet, I'm gonna prove them wrong. So whoever they put in front of me, I'm gonna take his head off, and go forward next, step by step, so to the top.
Absolutely, and it's a great attitude to have as well. Now, one last thing. There's also another prospect in this division who, in my opinion, is on a very similar path as you. Another fighter that everyone keeps mentioning, Dominick Reyes. Now, Rakic and Reyes are the two names that I keep hearing in this division, and it's my opinion that you two will cross paths at some point. Is he a fighter you've been keeping an eye on? And what's your thoughts about a potential fight further down the line against Reyes?
Of course, I saw Reyes fighting. I saw the last fight of him against St. Preux. A very strong southpaw. He is moving. When I see his fights, I think I thought I see me fighting. He's the same size, he's the same movement, the same punches, the same wrestling. I don't know, but he's like me, but he's a southpaw. But I think nobody's like me. We have similar styles, but everybody's different. So let's see what the future gives. Let's see. Maybe a fight is happened. I think he's ranked now, so he's gonna be faster than me for sure if he keeps winning. So, but maybe next year or the year after, I get a chance to fight him, or he got a fight offer. So you don't know what the time brings. So I will be ready, and I will be training, and of course I keep an eye of all top 15 guys in my division. So yeah, I know all of them, and I know all of them, the weaknesses and the strength, the strength part. So my coaches and me are already working on the game plans for different fighters. So we are not like focusing on the next fight, on the next opponent, on the next opponent, on the next opponent. We watch them already now and watch what they do good and what they do not doing good. So we're keeping forward and thinking, in the future.
That's a really good insight, man. And just before we go, Alex, how do you see this fight playing out at UFC 231? And do you have a prediction for us?
I'm gonna think Devin Clark is gonna push forward like he do usually. He want to put me on the fence. He want to clinch, but he can do it. He gonna feel my power. He gonna feel my athleticism. He gonna, like I said, he gonna push forward, but I think I'm gonna stop him in the second round. I don't want to say a lot, but sure. I think I'm gonna stop him in the second round. My prediction for the fight.
And that's all she wrote, Alex. So what I'm going to do now, as I always do, is just give you the opportunity to shout out anyone or anything that you need to. So sponsors, coaches, partners, family, friends, etc. I know this puts fighters on the spot a little, but honestly, there's no rush at all right now. So take your time, and the floor is yours.
Yeah. Thank you. First, I want to thank my family and my wife in Vienna. So without them, without no support of them, I would not be there where I am now. So thank you. And I want to thank my gym and my coaches in Gym 23. Especially I want to thank my sponsors and my management, heavy duty management, and Carl for doing such a great job. My sponsors, Gym King, and my sponsors, Concussion Pro 1, and also the American top teams who taking care of me in the fight camp. So it's such a great team here, hard training, and they keep working. They keep working hard, So I want to thank all of them. Also my sponsors in Vienna, all of them. Choice Protein, Soda, Gnet, Bobby P, Thibaut Bobby, and all of them. So thank you a lot for your support, and can't wait for UFC 231 December 8th in Toronto.
Awesome. So once again, thank you for taking the time to talk to me today, Alex. I'm really looking forward to your fight on December 8th at UFC 231, and I wish you the best of luck, bro.
Thank you very much for your time, and I appreciate it.